Hello everybody and welcome to the final day of the British and Irish Professional Cup, brought to you in affiliation with Into the Breach. I am going to be your main host, Killjoy, and I'm joined today with the lovely, legendary Irish Hotswat. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. Just doing a few bows to introduce myself.
Yeah, set a good example to the chat, say hi to everyone. Hopefully you guys are all excited as we are for the couple of matches we've got today. We only have 4 matches left till we're going to be crowning the winner of the second British and Irish Professional Cup. Again, all of these matches today are going to be absolutely stacked. We had an amazing day of matches yesterday, with arguably what could potentially be the winners' final already played, with Epos, Boz, Akros, and Leo playing. Incredible match came down to the wire, with all of them playing incredibly well, being a very, very close game. But yeah, we're going to have more matches like that today. So yeah, what's the first match going to look like for us today, Hotswan?
So today we got Hendo, Epos, Boz, and Whizzy. So it's going to be pretty intense. I think, obviously winner bracket final. So these are the best players getting through. You got your boy Hendo, Welshman at the top.
Yes, indeed.
He's been kind of outperforming expectations, I would say, beating out Akros, who was probably, I'd say the favorite in terms of the Welsh players. But yeah, he's doing very, very well. And Epos and Boz obviously shown incredible pace in the previous matches. And Whizzy, who's our resident, I guess, semi-professional player with Exalti, right?
Yeah,
a resident wheel
player.
expert as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a very good start to the day.
Absolutely. Same. You mentioned Hendo has arguably been outperforming, maybe a bit of an outlier in this game. People probably not expecting him to be performing as well as the rest of the 3 drivers, but he's definitely shown that he can drive with the best of them. His TA performance was absolutely incredible, and obviously through seeding and the entirety of playoffs, got himself up into the winner bracket final. So I mean, what's going to stop him from moving on to the grand final today? Who knows?
Rounds, maybe. And I say that because I think Hendo is well known as a time attack player, but not necessarily a rounds player. But I'm really hoping he proves that reputation wrong, I guess. But he seems to have been doing just that for the past couple of games. So fingers crossed he'll keep doing that and really give these guys a run for their money, because he is arguably the underdog in this constellation here. We've got just bozbez is just being borderline robotic right now, and I'm seeing the frame shift is the first map, and he was performing incredibly well on frame shift yesterday. So if there's more of that, then it'll be hard to see how Hendo can keep up. But Epos, on the other hand, I can see him contesting Boz as well. He did very well yesterday as well. But Whizzy, I don't think we've seen Whizzy against bozbez yet, have we? Other than seeding?
Remember, no. This is the first time they're going to be playing, I think, competitively against each other since British and Irish Professional League week 4 or week 5. That was an amazing showing there between those 2 titans of the British scene. So who knows? We'll hopefully get another amazing match from them today, along, like I said, with Epos, who's just an incredibly good and consistent and fast player. So it'll be interesting to see how they all perform. I think the only way we're going to be able to decide who's going to actually win from this one is who's going to make the least mistakes. And as you said, Hendo, notoriously not really known as a rounds player, has a couple of mental blips here and there. If he gets a little bit tilted, it may start to fall apart for him. But fingers crossed for him, he's able to reel it in and keep his focus. Hashtag good focus in the chats for Hendo.
Yeah, good focus, please. No, yeah, hopefully. But we're going into the 1 minute warm up now before the game. I think it's a good time to talk about predictions. Maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, my heart tells me that Hendo will be one of the 2 people to go through to the grand finals, but my head is telling me that it's probably going to be Boz and Whizzy. But again, any of these players could really make it. They're all absolutely incredible. So
interesting.
Yeah, what are you thinking? What do you think is going to happen?
I think I'm gonna put Boz up there as number one, but I think there's gonna be a pretty intense race between Whizzy and Epos for number two, and I don't so easily give it to Whizzy, to be honest. I think I might just about give it to Epos, if only to have a different order to you.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, any of them can bag it today. If one of them maybe woke up on the wrong side of the bed, brewed their tea a little bit too strong, and just isn't quite feeling it, that'll maybe make the difference. So, yeah, we're going to be getting into the very first round here. We'll see how it goes. We're going to be going with a starting points of 100 with 5 rounds per map. And I'll just double check quickly the map orders then. Starting on Frame Shift, but then we'll be going on to Candy Crush, Poles, and Hogan. We already see
Whizzy just already falling behind. I think he just about hit the wall there. As it looks, he's gonna have to see a mistake to catch back up. These guys are really close on pace right now. Hendo just about keeping within striking distance with the other two in front. But let's see if they make a mistake. Already Boz is looking quite dominant, as he was yesterday on this map.
Yeah, an incredible lead from Epos and from Hendo, just purely based on pace alone. But is Hendo going to be able to snipe Epos at the line? Not quite. He doesn't quite have enough speed, not enough track to catch up, but only very marginally behind.
That's a low 0.4 with Boz, and honestly, he hit what was it? It was like 4 or 5 0.4s yesterday in the same match. So pretty amazing time. I think the world record isn't it 0.2 like high or so? I believe.
I think so. Yeah, it was set by Leo yesterday, around half an hour before matches went live. I believe a 2.5 or a 2.8. I think. And you said in the match yesterday with the boss setting 0.4s consistently. Akros was joking in the chat of like, a nice challenge for you, boss. Don't set a 0.4 for once. How about that? And he failed because every single round was a 0.4.
Yeah, well,
consistent.
To be fair, his his HUD was probably off at the time, as it is now. Definitely. I would imagine. The pack is a lot closer right now, though. Whizzy is making a bit of a push. God, it's actually quite hard to tell them apart right now. But Boz is, just about pulling away a little bit. Whizzy got a little bit more speed. Will he be able to make it? Whizzy is very, very close to taking it. I think he's going to take this round. Yes, he does.
Oh, pips on the line.
0.007 of a second.
Wow.
That's okay. Very, very close. Not the best time from Boz, though.
No,
it's 0.2 behind his arguable consistent time, but very, very good race.
Yeah, not one of his best there. And we saw that Hendo making a slight mistake on the very final drift there. I think up until that point there was a 10th between first and last place, with how incredibly close these drivers all were there.
Very, very close. Yeah, very, very close. But I think as I said, Boz can do much faster times than this. So we'll see if he just completely dominates the rest of these rounds. But still very, very close. Very, very close.
And it's also interesting seeing that 2 of the players are taking the triangle line here through the checkpoint, both Epos and Whizzy. But it doesn't make too much of a difference overall. It looks like they're all, similar sort of pace going through the checkpoint and through the rest of the track. Again, it's outside dirt section, everyone getting it absolutely beautifully there. No issues is what we expect from an upper bracket final. As again, Boz is into the lead and he clips on the inside there. That's going to drop him down to 4th place, and Hendo is going to be able to win the line if he's not sniped by Whizzy 1,000th of a second into again. This is ridiculous.
Okay,
what a round!
Very, very close.
Yeah, the speed there from Whizzy. If the track was just slightly longer, he would have been able to snipe Hendo there. But that's massive from Hendo.
Yeah,
to only lose 1 point there.
I'll be very interested to see what this does for the mental of Boz. I think it's been said before. I think the one person standing in the way of Boz in this tournament is Boz himself. So we'll see. I think he may be liable to overthink things. But who was that fell behind? Was that Hendo?
That was Hendo. Yeah, it looked like he didn't quite get the drift right there, and had to try to save himself. And thankfully, he's only 0.6 behind. Well, but that's still not ideal for him. As again, the rest of the pack is going to probably drive without any mistakes, as they're all so
You
close.
cursed them.
Yeah,
You cursed
cast
them
a curse
completely.
as Whizzy touched the outside dirt there.
Can Hendo catch him up though? He's got a good bit of speed. Will
Potentially.
Whizzy take it too safe? No, I
Oh,
think he's pretty
Epos and
good.
Boz just gonna eke that out again. Just shy of 0.6, a little bit
Just
faster than
shy,
absolutely
yeah.
amazing
It's
pace.
not nearly as fast as he was yesterday. I'm wondering if he spent his practicing time on Candy Crush because he wasn't doing
Yes.
too well on that yesterday. And I think in order to be very comfortable about it, I can see him just, really grinding on those tracks that didn't work out for him.
Yeah, he was making jokes in the general chat earlier today, saying that apologising in advance for how my performance is on Candy Crush. So he probably did spend a lot bit of time over the evening and this morning getting warmed up on it, and who knows, maybe it's just cold hands this morning. They've not properly got into the match. Oh, so you see a touch from Whizzy there. But who knows? Maybe throughout the rest of the day we'll start seeing a couple of 0.3s or a 0.4 even, and some fast times on this as we get more into it, more into the flow.
Oh, was that Buzz? Yes, it was.
Huge crash
Okay.
there from Boz. Wow. It's
Yeah,
gonna give
and
Whizzy
it's Whizzy again.
no,
Okay,
not again. Oh, the caster curse.
like has the
These
curse,
two.
but also I think there's something to be said about the mental game here. Like we're getting into the later stages of the tournament. I think nerves are there, and this is what is it? 2 errors from Wizzy in this round alone, with 1 error
Yeah.
last round as well. So he might be feeling the nerves a bit.
Yeah.
And Boz, that's too many mistakes from him from his perspectives. I know he's very hard on himself, but
Yeah.
I think he did mess up 2 rounds there, which is not the best start to the match.
No, as you said, like the only one stopping Boz will be Boz himself. So if he gets into his head about making those couple of errors, we may start to see that spiral. But again, Whizzy there making uncharacteristic mistakes from him. He's usually extremely consistent. But yeah, I mean, I guess maybe the first one in that round sort of got his mental a bit jumbled. And then again, that outside dirt line, which people claim to be very easy, but from driving it is actually pretty difficult to get clean. Again, he clips there.
People say that's easy.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think it's that easy. Well,
Naruko
maybe.
was in my camp saying it's also equally hard, but it's challenging.
Yeah, I think maybe if you're a dirt Andy, maybe it's fine. But for me, I think it's a little too close for comfort. A little too risky.
Yeah, it's nice though seeing how generally consistent they are at that section. As someone who's playing in the lower bracket and the prospects, it's you see a lot of people going for more inside line, me included in that. But obviously these are the best players we've got at the tournament. Really showing off how to drive these tracks to perfection, and showing how it should be done, how Mime the mapper intended itself. Hopefully on this map, as we get into Candy Crush, should be great. As we said, bozbez may not be his strongest map here, but who knows? We'll see how he performs on it, I guess.
I think I'm anticipating a much better performance from bozbez here, just simply because he didn't do so well yesterday. I think he's probably going to ace it now. But
Yeah,
Caster's Curse,
absolutely.
maybe not. We'll see. We're going into the first round on Candy Crush now, with the precision start here. Everyone very close. Whizzy pulling out a little bit ahead at the start. Hendo with the Irish skin. Let's go.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
Love to see it.
Must have lost a bet, I think. The only reason why he'd be doing this. But yeah,
it may have been my bet.
That was worst bets he could have gone for there.
Yeah, it's a great skin.
All within 700ths of a second, going through to this middle point of the map. See another outside dirt angle here. Everyone getting it very
very
clean.
close. Wow. Okay. But the plastic. Whizzy hits.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
Too aggressive on the corner. Is any gears drop? No, everyone getting that beautifully as well. Does anyone have any more speed? Is Hendo going to be able to overtake Epos towards the end? No, Epos nearly missed the finish. I could have been
Whizzy
scary
going
there.
for the safe fin as well, but Hendo doing impressively well in this first round.
Yeah, great round
it's
there.
It's a 0.6, not a bad time at all.
Not at all. Not at all. unfortunately for Whizzy, that's going to mean that there's now a 20-point gap between him and first place. So, you know, you hate to see it. Someone will have to be, you know, 2 people will have to get knocked out into the lower bracket, you know, consolidation final from this. And it feels weird to say that Whizzy is currently in last place.
Whizzy cannot be happy with this performance so far, and I think there's 2 ways to go about it. He can either let it get to him, or he can come on top of it, just like really bring it to his advantage and prove everyone wrong that think he might go out here. And you can see he's really pushing with his pace here.
Yeah, a great
bozbez
grab line
ahead.
there. Yeah, good upside, good dirt from everyone there. Again, Whizzy going for a very inside line. Epos going a little bit wider, trying to generate a bit more speed as we go through into the plastic section here. The Cam 1 bane of existence. But as we see, Epos with a very wobbly line. He's not going to be able to compete for the first position there. And Hendo again with not the great line himself. Boz, though, getting the first local record. Okay, Boz has come to play.
Yeah, here it is.
I don't think that's world record.
It's not. I think world record is a 0.3 or so.
Okay, so he's not far off.
He's not far off though. Like, this is a very impressive time in rounds, especially on a map like this. It's a very risky, very difficult map. With, you know, the precision start like this, and the rest of it is very precision based as well. But we'll see if he can keep it up, because, you know, if he pushes too hard, it's going to go over the line, and he's going to be asking for crashes.
Exactly. I mean, he could push for world record every round, or do a consistent, you know, 0.2, 0.3 off of world record and probably be fine. So again, just really about consistency here, minimizing the errors these players make. The others will definitely capitalize on that. Again, Hendo not quite getting that uphill dirt, right, clipping slightly. He's going to be dropping down behind the rest of the pack. Going to this final plastic corner here. Whizzy with a good speed, good line, not quite the pace that he needs, as Epos and Boz are neck and neck into the slash checkpoint here. Is Epos going to get a better line across to the finish? No. 13 thousandths behind there. Boz with another 0.5. Amazing round.
This is incredible pace. Like, I don't even think consistency comes into their mind at this point.
Yeah.
With times like that, I think, you know, they have to push, at least, like, to a large extent. They can't really sit back and rely on other people to just crash. But Hendo failing the precision start here, I'm hoping that doesn't take a toll on his mental here, and he can make a recovery. Whizzy, on the other hand, is seeming a little bit more comfortable. Hopefully I don't curse him now, and I did. Okay.
You just had to say it, didn't you? You just had to say he was doing so well, this man. Unfortunately, yeah, he's gonna be dropping down now. It's just a fight really between Boz and Epos for first place.
Yeah, and it's interesting how much of a dominant performance these 2 guys up front are currently making anyway. We'll see if it continues, but it really seems to be the Boz and Epos show at the moment.
Yeah, they've both got quite a considerable lead in the points, but we see Epos going for a very inside line here. Is that going to net him enough speed? We'll see. Actually, does he go across the line? 15,000 separating them. Yet again,
it's in the 0.4 as well. This is insane. This is like
2 players.
I think anybody, if you asked anybody, you know, if you showed them these times, showed them this round, people would have said it would be Boz and Whizzy. I think you got to commend Epos. Like, I think we've slowly seen him with this speed throughout the tournament, but he's really seeming like the main contender to Boz right now, at least at the start of this match.
100%. Like you say, it's unfortunate we're seeing Whizzy making these arguably uncharacteristic mistakes. But you can't discredit Epos in any way then, say it's just from Whizzy playing bad, because Epos is driving incredibly well himself. But we see Whizzy here on this round not making any early mistakes, getting himself to a marginal lead ahead of Boz. We go into this uphill dirt here, everyone getting it clean yet again. We'll see how the end of this track plays out.
Yeah, I think, you know, as I said, I think it's a really interesting psychological game going on here, where I'm looking at Whizzy and Hendo, who've made quite a few mistakes here, and you feel like you've got something to prove here. With Whizzy getting mid 0.5 is pretty good time.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, he's if I was in his position, I'd be looking to get some really nice times in here and really
Yeah,
get the mental back in a good place.
definitely. He's only 23 points off from the lead. I say only. That's still quite a lot of points to have to regain through the next map, which will be polls. So we'll see if he can do it. Hendo is quite a bit further behind, unfortunately, in fourth place. Like I said, maybe the mental starting to crack and buckle a little bit under pressure there. He made that one mistake, a touch on the very first corner, it felt like, and then another one was a bit too wide.
That's
And
true, but I think he's done so well to get where he is now, and I think he can be proud of his achievement already. So I don't think he's gonna play like he's got something to prove. I think he's already proven more than enough. So I think he'll just do his best here, and I think it's Whizzy that I have my eye on more than anything because I think people, expect him to really be pushing for second, and there's a gap appearing. What is it now? It's like
yes,
18 points. That's a
yeah,
big
quite
gap.
the gap. Yeah,
It's
it's
a
it's
big gap.
considerable. Especially with Epos and Boz outside of obviously that one round on frame shift by Boz. They've both been pretty much flawless, it feels like, throughout this match. So, Wizzy's maybe just gonna have to push that a little bit more and try clean it up around the end.
And
Around the
where he's
edges.
going to push it here as well. If we're
Yeah,
going to see a push, we're going to see it on that tight right-hander onto the grass. And
absolutely.
that's, if it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, you'll see him going to a halt very quickly.
Definitely.
But I think, yeah, we'll see. I think bozbez was a little hit and miss on this yesterday. I think Epos was, much the same. I think it's quite a risky map, but here we are going into the first round of this map, and I'm looking forward to the corner. The corner. It's coming up.
Yeah. Oh, and a bunk already from Hendo there, putting down to fourth place already. Massive disadvantage going into this round. Again, he's also at risk with points. Let's see how this grass corner goes for everyone. Oh, Epos and Boz dipping a wheel onto the border there to help generate a lot more speed. Into the plastic section here. Nobody's going to fly out. All these drivers are incredibly good at that slight bit of precision there. Yeah, this final drift. Epos going a bit wider, generating a lot more speed, but I think he had to do a slight release there before clipping the outside. It looks like everyone's line here going to be pretty good. Couple of low jumps and
Wow.
0.6 from Boz. Not
Into
bad
the
at all.
0.6.
Not bad at all.
I honestly, I'm coming out of this looking at Boz and Epos thinking this is the real match going on right now. I don't know if they're
Yeah.
looking at the times, but oh my god, like they are hitting some like very close, very tight lines right now.
Yeah, they definitely come to play today. You can see how confident they are on this track, not just in their driving, but the lines and the precision on this. For what it appears to be risking everything, but they probably feel extremely confident with every line they're taking, and confident that they're going to be able to make them stick, such as this inside line there, which again is slightly wrong, will cost you a massive amount of time. But again,
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that they're consistently pushing very, very fast times, and it's putting Whizzy in an uncomfortable position where consistency is just not enough. And he's really trying to push now. I think it's Whizzy and bozbez up at the front right now. Whizzy got a little bit more speed. Will he make
for the lower jump as
that?
well.
Was very, very close. That was very close.
Risky. That was incredibly risky. Wow. He made the jump though. He made it land. That was a great round. This is exactly what we were not wanting to see from Whizzy here. We needed him to perform and get that speed. And again, the second local record there.
Yeah, and as Hendo says, like in the chat, by the way, he's just being outpaced here. There's not really much that he can do, other than just go as fast as he possibly can and try to get less. Okay, and he pushed the line and hit the side there.
Yeah, he's cooking, but cooking a bit too much. Trying a little bit too hard there. You can't blame him. I think he knows in his mind that he has to risk. He has to be going for these incredibly tight lines and going for that. But it's hard to pull off in a match with the pressure, and with the knowledge that if you do make the mistake, you're pretty much going to be dead in the round. Because all these players are incredibly close. Going to this last corner here, Epos with a slight lead. Whizzy, does he have a bit more speed and a better line? He's going to go for the low jump again. Whizzy gets a clip. Oh, so that's going to drop him down into third place with Epos in first, Boz in second, and obviously Hendo bringing up the rear after that small clip.
Whizzy was really looking for that first, and I don't think he needed it.
No,
I think he could have just taken the second. As it is, he loses 4 more points.
Yeah, getting second there would have been great for him. Unfortunately, risking it a little bit too much. Went a bit too ham on that low jump and paid the price for it. Thankfully didn't end up last for his sakes, but Hendo is into last chance now. So it is quite literally do or die for him. He has to hope that someone else makes an error or that he's able to keep it together as Epos gets a bit of airtime there from the sausage. It's not going to be ideal for him.
I think Hendo is in a position where he can attack at the end. He's going to really have to push, though. He's going to have to go low on the last jump as well. Oh, and nearly hits the outside apex there. It doesn't look like he's going to make it unless we get an error from Whizzy. We get an error.
Whizzy
just Hendo makes it, and yeah. Whizzy drops to 10 points. That's not good for Whizzy. Not good at all.
No, the risky fin there had to be taken as he just clipped that corner. Very tricky corner, deceptively tricky corner if you're really trying to push for pace, which obviously these players are, as they need to, in order to keep themselves in the round. But that's a nice lifeline for Hendo.
It is, but it's realistic for Hendo to be in the top 2 at the end. I'm not so sure, but we would have thought Whizzy would have been in with a chance, but now there's a 30-point gap.
Exactly.
So it's a little worrying for Whizzy now, I think.
Yeah, considerable disadvantage in the points department for him, but he's risking massive on that grass corner there, getting so much of the road that he's going to be able to propel himself up into first, pretty much neck and neck with Epos. And gets a good dirt lined in, nobody clips, which is nice to see. Again,
you have to remember Hendo in the hot seat now. If Boz makes an attack here and overtakes, Hendo is out. Hendo just about holding on now.
Doesn't need to do any low jump, and the line
keeps it.
Gets it.
Boz losing 10 points though. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, that's gonna bring him and Epos a lot closer together. They did only have a 10-point gap between themselves, and now it's gone down to 3, I believe, if my quick maths there is correct. Really incredible driving from everyone there on poles. Hendo managing to make it through to Hoga, which may be for better or for worse as a Hoga.
Hendo is just counting every round that he stays alive and being very thankful for it. And who could blame him? I mean, these guys are putting in incredible times. Absolutely. Any situation where he can avoid fourth place is very impressive at this point. But it's really, it's all eyes on Whizzy right now. Although with that last round, Boz and Epos are on the same level right now. So either one could be in the danger seat if Whizzy gets a few good runs, I think.
Definitely. But then equally, if Whizzy has a couple of rounds which where he does end up fourth, maybe gets like a really bad end or a bad start, as we've seen repeatedly from Hoga, or even from these amazing players. They're not prone to, they're not above making mistakes on this map. It's a very punching map.
But the same goes for Boz and Epos for sure. I mean, they could both really come up and lose some crucial points, but 30 points is a lot. 26 points between Whizzy and Epos is a hell of a lot. That's 2 or 3 like full rounds. So we'll see. Though he does drive a 3rd local record, I don't think that's a very good time though. So.
It's somewhat deceptive sometimes with these local records, as it's obviously match specific if they've been in whichever match server for them. But again, we'll see as we go through the First corner here, arguably one of the toughest sections off the track. Everyone getting it incredibly clean. It's what you like to see from an upper bracket final. There's an outside dirt line taken from everyone, nice and clean. We'll see. Currently Hendo in 4th, but it's definitely way too close to call now as to how we expect the rest of this round to play out. Slightly awkward line there from Hendo. That will drop him down quite a bit. Again, this is a round where he cannot afford to come last. As the front 3 runners of Boz, Whizzy, and Epos neck and neck going through to the bob section. See if the sausage turn becomes a cropper for anyone. Oh, Boz hitting the outside there on the exit.
Is that the lifeline for Hendo? Is Hendo, as long as he makes it in the risky fin, yep, he's good. And it's another lifeline. It's another round that he can tick off.
Yeah, two mistakes now we've seen from Boz in recent rounds, and that's gonna actually drop him down to 2nd.
And it's a win from Whizzy as well. So Whizzy closing the gap not with Epos but with bozbez, which is a bit of an upset now, I think.
This is really making it a bit spicier, Whizzy, a little bit of a lifeline we save for that round. He's not going to be losing as many points.
Bozbez hitting in a very crucial point. I don't know if he has no chance of catching up.
Not realistically, no, unless another catastrophic error happens. He's 9 seconds behind there. Maybe had to do a standing respawn. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, he did. He crashed in midair, so I think it was not such a good place to crash.
Yeah,
he is way behind, and if Whizzy wins this, by the way, it's getting very spicy. It's getting to the point where Whizzy could very well be taking over bozbez and pushing him into the loser bracket, maybe.
Exactly, which is something I don't think anyone was expecting. Nobody on their betting cards would have predicted that today.
Well, especially not after the first few maps. Like, Boz was in a very dominant position, and Whizzy was looking very shaky. But yeah, now, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We have a couple
now
less
as
errors.
well. That's a -12 from Boz.
-12. He couldn't get to the finish in time. But he was 16 seconds behind, it looks like. So that's
9 points between them now. I mean, that's a realistic margin now for Whizzy, and he must be feeling pretty bolstered by that. And Boz feeling, a little bit shaky probably after a lot of, pretty unforced errors.
Yeah, wouldn't be able to tell that from his driving though this round, as he's not made a mistake yet, going for a nice inside line on the dirt, on the sort of the plastic there. And we'll see. It looks like Epos is a bit slower, but maintaining his position through the dirt, but losing it out to Hendo. We'll see if anyone gets a weird entry into the bob. It looks like everyone's got it good. No landing bugs there either. Can occasionally occur in the drift there. Epos is dropping back a little bit. This may be another big shift here.
Whizzy and Boz very close. Does Whizzy have the speed? I think he does. And by 7,000.
And Hendo misses the finish. Hendo is going to be the 4th place player in the winner bracket final match. Unfortunately, I looked like he was just slightly too wide.
Tell you what, he did survive for quite a long time.
He did.
After becoming last chance, so fair play to him. He did very well.
He did type in the warm up. Oh, it's Hoga. GG. He was definitely not expecting himself to survive 3 rounds there, but incredible drive from him today. A couple of unforced errors, which really made him pay the price.
Yeah, but he was doing very well to keep up with the caliber of players here. I mean, the speeds that these guys are at is just it's pretty insane. So for him to do that well is pretty great. Boz, speaking of unforced errors, he hasn't really made any in this round, but he's 3/10 behind. Maybe being more safe for some reason, I guess, but it's not going to be enough against these guys.
I don't know. I feel like Boz is someone who a safe line doesn't mean anything to him. It's just a regular fast line.
Whizzy is touched. Maybe is he going to make the risky fin? He's not.
No.
Oh, what's he doing?
He's gonna have to do a
10
double
seconds.
respawn.
Oh, he's gonna make it, surely.
He should be able to. I think he can. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll make it.
It's a very punishing risky fin.
Woof.
Okay. He bonked
He
with engine off. That was almost an
Okay,
absolute
okay.
nightmare.
Oh,
If you're up
that's a
against
rough
single
minus
digits,
10 though. That's a
yeah,
rough minus 10.
single digits from him. And he's got to be careful here. If he makes any more errors, he will, and finishes last, he'll be on last chance. I think if he comes third this round as well, because of how the points have adjusted due to there only being 3 players. I think it's
Mm.
minus. No, it is. It's only -6. He'll survive with 1 point if he finishes in second place here.
But you know,
Obviously,
the thing is, it's last chance. It just means that you have to win whatever number of rounds will get you the points difference.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like Boz has lost enough that he is 1 or 2 rounds away from Whizzy beating him when Whizzy is in
Yeah,
last chance. You know, so
yeah.
it's still not a good position for Boz. Epos
Oh,
takes a crash though.
yeah.
As long as these guys can get Whizzy,
Whizzy.
Whizzy.
Okay, but he goes for the. They
Oh,
both
they
go for the
both did.
risk. Okay,
Okay, that's
okay,
fine.
okay. He made the decision early there, Whizzy, which was good because if he had to do another standing respawn, he is
Yeah.
guaranteed on last chance. Um, wow, that's
Jeez.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy again.
that's way too
Unforced error.
close.
Yeah, the clip on the inside from Epos there, really trying to cook that corner and get as much as he can out from it. But he finished that round in third. Whizzy, unfortunately, didn't have it too clean as well. Boz the only one with a
Still,
clean round there.
Whizzy really making up for a lot of points there, a lot of points. Boz looking
Yes.
quite shaky, but the map order is really it's doing Boz a lot of favors here because I still believe, even though he wasn't hitting some amazing times in the first time around, I think Frameshift is probably his most comfortable map, just by my estimation.
Yeah, it's
Um,
looked like it. Definitely.
yeah, it definitely has looked like it. So if there was ever a time for him to start feeling more comfortable, getting back like his head into the game, this is probably gonna be it.
Definitely, definitely. We need to see that pristine, that Boz we all expect. The HUD off, driving perfect rounds every single time.
Yeah, point four is every round. Are we gonna see a point 3? That's the question. I
If we see a
expect it,
point
boss.
3,
I expect
I'd be surprised, but I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. And it's what we can expect now. Again, they've sort of warmed into the match. They're feeling it. Maybe they've got the bit of the nerves coming on as well. So we'll see if that plays a part into exactly how fast they end up driving these rounds. But again, Whizzy, regardless of how this happens, he will be on last chance next round. So maybe that'll be playing in his head, knowing that he doesn't have to do anything crazy on this round, but could maybe try and take a couple points away from the other players.
He would want to be driving his absolute fastest. This is the one round where he has to drive his absolute fastest because he's nothing to lose, as you said, but everything to gain. He wants Boz to lose those points.
Massively.
Beyond Epos. I think Epos has an extra 6 points, so Whizzy pulling out a little bit already, really showing the sentiment that I just described, I think.
Oh, yeah, really nice driving here from Whizzy. Gets a good landing here. Let's see. Nobody clips on the uphill dirt. Very nice there, but Boz with a bit more speed than Whizzy. Epos though with a nice inside line there. Whizzy's going to drop down to third place.
All
Place
coming
looks
out to
like.
this.
Oh, and Whizzy. Okay, all within a tenth. All within a
Okay,
tenth at a
but
0.6 time.
Epos in the hot seat again, though. Epos is just a little bit less points than Boz now.
Yeah, this is. It's getting really tight between them two. Again, as we expected, these players all to be pretty even with their skill and how they drive. It's definitely showing off in this match here. Again, Whizzy on to last chance, just has to avoid coming last. It's that simple. Just don't finish last. Just don't do it. We'll see if he's actually able to perform that way. He gets a really awkward line there and touches the outside dirt. It's not looking so good for him.
No, it's not looking so good. I think the pressure seems to have got to him. He'll be praying for a mistake from the other two now, which may happen. I would be surprised if they weren't HUD off right now. going
Yeah.
full pelt. So, it could
Yeah.
happen. They could full hit the wall, but so far,
Epos with a slight release there, but not going to be enough for Whizzy to catch up. Nobody misses the finish either. Point four
and
from
Wizzy's
Boz.
out.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Oh, there's the
Whizzy.
point four. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, amazing time from him. Again, pretty close to record there, about 10th off. But unfortunately, Whizzy's going to be knocked down with Hendo through to the lower bracket consolidation match, I believe. We'll play this out and see between Epos and Boz who's going to be the king of this match. Be interesting. We could have a chance of a double finalist effectively if Boz comes second in this one. Then it's just a single match for sudden death.
Very true. I would like to see it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
That being said,
Epos doesn't want
Epos
to.
touches, yeah, not
Yeah.
so good. But I think he just needs to come second in this next one, assuming the boss finishes with no problems.
Yeah, as you expect. Amazingly risky lines there. Again, like I said, they're both probably heard off, not realizing. But Epos probably in the back of his head knows that Boz likely hasn't made a mistake.
Point three from boss.
Point three, I'm going to see it. Yes, point
What?
3-2.
Oh my god.
What a round. It's an
Okay.
incredible round.
.322. That's insane.
That's amazing. Where did he pull that one from? In
Also,
a round
he has hood on, by the way. he must
Hood
know
on.
vaguely what's going on. He said thank you in the chat.
Incredible. Incredible.
Wow.
I guess he didn't want to leave anything to chance. He didn't want it to be a potential that Epos could go faster than him, so we'll just whip out a .3, I guess. That was incredible.
I think this is their second 1v1 in the past 2 days. So I think, but maybe there's more than that. I don't actually know. But I think they're a bit used to it at this point. They're used to the fact that, as Boz said, Epos does have the pace to take rounds from Boz. So it's kind of depending on how each round goes. Epos still in position to take Boz here. As long as Boz doesn't make an error at the end, he should be okay. But Epos making a push. Well, does he have enough speed? Does not look like it. I think Boz has this now.
.48 again, another amazing time. But that'll conclude the results for this first match here, as Boz will be winning that one, beating Epos there at the line with Whizzy going in third, Hendo in fourth. So
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
as you predicted, to the T, you did say Epos second.
I did say I didn't specifically say Hendo fourth, but Hendo's first in my heart, so that's the main thing.
First in my heart too.
Yeah, you have to say that. You're the
I have to.
the Welsh admin, but no,
Legally obliged.
I think I thought it would be closer with Whizzy and Epos. I think I wouldn't say he was disappointing, but he's got a lot to prove. I think now. I think there was a lot of unforced errors, a lot of kind of sort of just mistakes really from Whizzy. I think he has the pace, but Epos was just looking really confident, and obviously Boz is always quite confident. So he was just looking, just doing Boz things. But there were cracks in the armor. There were situations, especially on the first go around of Hoga. I believe he started making a lot of mistakes.
He had a couple of fourth place finishes, I think.
And even the first time around on frame shift, he was hitting .6s, which for anyone else is very impressive, but for Boz is could be better.
Yeah, that's a weak round from him. It's
honestly it is.
It's not a round he's happy with, but
it is. So maybe he's crazy. Quite comfortable with his speed beating like the other guys with .6s, but I mean, it worked out, I guess, but I think the real one to watch out for is the situations like with Hoga. If he gets some of that in the grand finals, if that's due to nerves, then it might be too close for comfort. Like there was at the end of the day, there was only like 2 rounds lost for Boz at the end before Epos sweeps it. So it could go either way, especially between those two. It could go either way for sure.
100%. I mean, again, both amazing players, and like we said, Boz looked like he was more flawed throughout the matches than Epos. I can't remember any major mistakes made by Epos throughout the match. But Boz definitely had 1 or 2 fourth places, which definitely didn't help him out with the points.
I guess it's a little bit more remarkable when it's when it's Boz, but no, it's
Exactly.
I think you're absolutely right. I think Epos was a bit more solid actually overall, if only with like slightly slower speed, slightly.
Definitely. So I mean, speaking of Epos, I believe we should be having an interview with him pretty much right now. So yeah, we've got Epos. So congratulations on making it through to the grand finals. How do you think your match went? What are your thoughts?
Dude, like, I'm both happy and unhappy because I played hard off most of the time, but every couple of rounds I would check, and I saw that when it came to Hoga, I think I had like a 15-20 point lead or something like that, or maybe it was in the middle of Hoga. And I thought because I knew frame shift was coming back round, and as everyone knows, Boz is fucking nuts on Hoga. He is unreal at it. But I did a 0.3 in warm-up, so I thought, oh, all right, today maybe I can compete. And then it seems like all my, I don't know, lines go out the window. I choke the PF start near enough. Like that section, you can gain so much alone. And I don't know, man. I feel like I could have beaten Boz, but maybe I'll save it for the grand finals.
I can tell you it was Hoga that he lost his lead, because he did have a bit of a lead on you going into it, but there was a few errors that he made that were just like basically unrecoverable, and you were solid all the way through. I think we were just pointing out that you didn't really make much like critical errors. You were, if anything, you were releasing at the right time to make sure you got through to the end. What was your kind of thought process there? Were you trying to be consistent, or were you pushing quite a lot?
Yeah, I don't know. In my head, I don't want to throw much shade, but I saw that Whizzy wasn't looking too consistent yesterday. And so in my head, I just kind of wanted to get on to the grand final. So I thought if I just don't make mistakes, maybe he'll beat himself, even though his pace might be better than mine. But I think consistency carries a little bit with this format. I don't know. I feel like if it was normal cup mode, he would blast me. But I feel like reverse cup, it's all about just consistency, to be honest. So yeah, I was just trying not to crash, and I think I made one mistake on Hoga, but other than that, I don't think I really crashed. So I'm well happy with that, to be honest.
Very nice. And I think, yeah, at the end, you were, if you won 2 rounds in a row, you would have had this as well. How do you feel about, going for another go against Boz in the grand final? How does that feel to you now?
Like, I think it just depends on the match we have, because maybe I'm being a little egotistical, but I think it's clear I have the pace to match him, but I have to push my peak pace a little bit more than he has to. So he has a much more comfortable safe pace than me, I would say. So I kind of have to push a little bit more. So I don't know what I'm going to do when I go to the grand finals. Maybe I try to push a little bit more. Maybe I stick to safing. I don't know. I'm a little bit unsure what I'm going to do. But yeah, I fancy my chances, but it just depends on the match.
Definitely. And who do you think you're going to be seeing in the final along with you and Boz? Obviously 2 spots there. We got 6 players who could potentially be facing up against you. Who do you expect to make the run through the losers bracket finals?
Honestly, I put my money on... I expect to see Whizzy again, because Whizzy just has the raw pace that even if he does make some mistakes, he's just going to get a lot of -1s, because when he finishes a round, it's fast. So I expect to see Whizzy, and it's close, man, but I think Leo. I'd put my money on Leo out of anyone. Maybe Acros, maybe Hendo, but Leo is, yeah, definitely underlooked by people.
Okay. So it's gonna be maybe a rerun with you, Epos, and Boz, along with yeah, no, yeah, with Leo. Sorry. In the,
Yeah, yeah. Me, myself, and Boz. Yeah, that's all that matters.
So yeah, but congratulations on winning this match. You've got obviously a little bit of a break now for the final. Do you have a plan? You're going to be practicing the entire time or taking a bit of a breather?
I'm gonna go look at the VOD now to see where I was losing time. So yeah, little bit of VOD review. So yeah.
Amazing
Sounds
focus
very
there.
good. I would say I think you were looking neck and neck with Boz, and I think it's going to be a really good looking final if you can continue that.
Yeah,
sure.
hope so, man. Hope so.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for the interview. Congratulations on the win again, and hopefully the favor fortunes you again in the finals. It will be an amazing match to watch, I'm sure.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Da Vinci Acres, type 1. Bye.
Type 1 in chat, fellas. Type 1 in chat. So yeah, I believe we're going to be looking at hopping to a short break, as we're going to be then getting into the lower bracket match, which is going to be between Leo, Vinky, Akros, and Roy. Little predictions before we hop into the break. Well, who do you think is gonna come out ahead in that match there?
I'm gonna go with Leo first, Akros second, Roy, Vinky. Straight up.
I think I've got to agree with you with maybe Vinky ahead of Roy. In that third, fourth. We'll see. I think Akros has been having a couple of internet issues over the past day, so we'll see if that ends up being a cropper. Hopefully, it won't impede him too much. But yeah, we'll see. As I said, we're gonna go to a short break, but we'll see you guys all in a couple of minutes for that match. So see you then.